What's going on, team? It's your boy G. We back at it again with another episode of the G Files, man. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Tokyo Revengers. Now, this is an anime that is, I love it, bro. I love it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is probably like one of my favorite animes, other than Jujutsu Kaisen, that have come out this year, type beat. So I'm super excited to get into this review. If y'all haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and any bit of support is greatly appreciated. You can be watching anything on YouTube right now. Decide to check this video out. So I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, let's jump into the vid. Alright, y'all, so let's start with the initial concept. Y'all know I love to start with love with these type of reviews and stuff like that. And you know, with this being like a whole like anime season where, you know, I thought it ended like a couple times, like in the midst of this whole season. A lot of stuff happened, but we got to start with the foundation. So the initial premise for this show is fire, bro. I love adding the concept of, like, you know, time travel with, you know, something that we don't usually see in anime, and that's like delinquent side of, you know, Japanese culture, I guess you could say. Like, we don't usually see stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? And initially, like, that first episode, from the jump, it just throws you completely into the world, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a very, very strong start, and basically all the way through, every episode is fire. The character design is dope. The plot is really good. I love, like, the, what I like to call, like, the gameplay loop, if we was talking about a video game, but, like, you know, just how the arcs of this show go as far as like the pacing and like what happens in each arc. Is really easy to keep track of what's going on, and honestly just, like, you know, really get an understanding of like what our place is in the world at this point. But just as predictable as the arcs can be, what actually happens in the show is very unpredictable, which could be considered a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. Like, take for instance like the mortality rate. Like in this show, like, the plot is unforgiving, bro. Like, if this character is supposed to die, like, they go out like crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, in ways that we weren't even expecting. And just when you thought, bro, you know what I'm saying, you started making some progress within the story, we get sent 2 steps back, and it's just like, damn, we back on our heels again, you know what I'm saying? So you would think, like, based on, like, you know, how the arc is structured, like every single time, you know, we are leading up to like one huge date where there's gonna be this big fight, and we got to do one specific thing to help the timeline move forward. It's just like, you would think that you would be ready for it, like, you know, the switch up, but nah, I wasn't ready, not one time. Now, speaking of, like, you know, the time travel thing, usually with like time travel shows, like, things can get really confusing, but they made it very simple to where the point that, you know, whatever date that it is in the past, whenever you want to return, it'll still be that same date in the year, just the year, the actual year will change, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's no like gimmicky methods of like time travel, which definitely has its ups and downsides, especially on the return side of things, just because you don't necessarily know, you know what I'm saying, what you're walking into, because anything that you change in the past have endless ripple effects in the future, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have your stuff together, then you might be out of luck. Now that we got like the basics out the way, you know what I'm saying, let's get into what really made this show really good, and that's the relationships, and that's the bonds that, you know, these characters are able to make. Now, for me, I don't really mess with Takemichi like that. Takemichi is the main character of this series, but I like how the main character isn't really the main character. You know what I'm saying? Like, Takemichi is almost like a fly on the wall in a sense, because like, he's there, but his impact in most moments throughout the show is very little. You know what I'm saying? He's more so reacting than actually like making moves to progress, like, you know, whatever his plan might be, because he doesn't have one. He's just kind of winging it at this point, you know what I'm saying? But I love the relationships that we get to, you know, not only see build, but also the breakups, and also just seeing the different tests like of loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Because these are a gang of delinquents, right? And they all have different hierarchies and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's a very structured thing for it to be like a middle school type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? But it's really dope to see, because you can just see like the progression and all of the flashbacks, just from, you know, where they started to like where they are now, whether they, you know, backslid for a little bit, but or they made moves in a different direction, you know what I'm saying? Like, that similar bond is still there, you know, and that especially was shown in like the last few episodes of this season. But yeah, man, it's the relationships and bonds that really make this show, because every episode at some point almost like made me want to cry, bro, just because of like what was happening. It was like real, like not necessarily emotional, but it was just a lot going on. I was just like, bro, like this is crazy. This is really crazy. What's going on, team? I know you guys are enjoying the video right now, but I want to let you guys know that not only are we making videos like this every day, Monday through Friday here on YouTube, but we're streaming on Twitch. We're having these conversations. I want to see you guys in the chat so we can talk about all this stuff live, man. We got a dope community over there, and I would love you guys to join. So check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. Link is in the description. Yeah, and I'll see y'all in the chat. Back to the video. Now, one thing that was really apparent is how strong some of these characters are, bro. Like, some of them have freakishly human powers, and that, you know, has to be there for it to be like an anime, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody gotta have some super strength at some point. And I was glad to see that, you know, it was a good majority of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these captains in each of the gangs basically have, you know, a special ability, in a sense. Not a special ability, but, you know, they got a special skill, whether it's tactical, whether it's straight up brawn, or whatever you want to say. Like, they really be trying to get to wrecking in this joint, even if it's like not as detailed as what happens in the manga. But like, nah, they really be trying to go body in this joint for sure. And it's weird, bro, because this show is like ruthless, but at the same time it's like very, very like honorable in a sense, just because of the way that they move. I don't know if that's just like the way that the culture like is set up, that like, you know, no matter what, like it's about respect at the end of the day. But it's just like, you know, they moving different over there, bro. All right, next up, let's talk about the bosses, bro, and like just the whole dynamic of this show. So like, to me, there's like two key figures. There's two key figures in this show. One is Mikey, you know what I'm saying, and the other one is Kasaki, you know. And basically, I look at Kasaki as like, and with those two, it's kind of like a duality between how their character is, you know, portrayed in the show. Whereas like Mikey, you know, he wears his heart on his sleeve in some senses, and like, you know, shows how much he cares through his actions. Whereas Kasaki works more in the shadows, you know what I'm saying, to get what he needs to get done. And I think that's fire, just because it offers like multiple opportunities for something dope to happen, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of Mikey's merit happens on screen, but the amount of people that fear Kasaki, you know what I'm saying, is ridiculous. Like, it's really crazy. Like, he really Lex Luthor out here, bro, for sure. And similar to like what I was talking about earlier, just like how intricate and detailed, you know what I'm saying, like this delinquent world is. Like, they break stuff down to like the smallest minute thing, you know what I'm saying, whether it's rankings, whether it's like just like the other groups that are in the show, you know what I'm saying. Like, you're always being reminded of where you stand. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but you know, it also allowed us to be able to remember, you know, a lot of characters, because it's definitely a lot of characters in this show. But overall, bro, I really mess with it. I'm super excited for the next season. I'm still taken aback on how the last episode ended. I won't say, you know what I'm saying, necessarily what happened. You have to see it for yourself. But that joint still, like, it's frustrating, but it has me super hyped, because ain't no way they can end it like how they ended it, bro. Ain't no way. So I'm super excited for the next season. But as far as my G-File score for Tokyo Revengers, I'm giving it a 92 out of 100. This joint was definitely elite, bro. If y'all haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all did, smash that like button down below for your boy. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'm gonna holla at y'all in the next video, man. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing. See going. To me, boy G. I'm gone. Peace.